Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Ricciardo has left Red Bull Racing and has joined Renault. Hey guys, how's it going? Karai here. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be an F1 related video. I realised the last video was a MotoGP video and this one is an F1 video. I'm just sat in my room trying to catch up on or trying to record ahead of time so that I have some videos to upload in the future. Yeah, sorry. These videos are going to be a bit all over the place, but I'm just going to talk about what I feel like I want to talk about. And in this instance, it is Daniel Ricciardo going to Renault from Red Bull. So the F1 break, the summer break, is hitting us in full force at the moment. There is no F1 for 3 more weeks. But there is still a lot of silly season stuff going on revolving around Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull now, of course. But I'm just going to be focusing on Daniel Ricciardo in this short video and what that means for him. So Daniel Ricciardo has made the switch from Red Bull Racing to Renault Sport F1 team. It was announced just last week after the Hungarian Grand Prix. It came as a bit of a shock to everyone, including myself. I think we all thought that he was going to be staying at Red Bull, considering that, you know, although they have some reliability issues with Renault, they are still definitely the third best team on the grid and have been knocking down that third place spot ever since the move to hybrid engine sort of happened, really. So it did come as a bit of a shock. Daniel Ricciardo said himself that he's ready for a new challenge and that he saw that what Renault did within 2 years gives him serious hope about the potential of the team in the future. I'm not so sure at the moment. It definitely looks like Haas are the ones on the upward curve in terms of performance and potential. But then again, Renault do have a lot of resources, so I think in that respect, Daniel Ricciardo is making the right move. He also gets factory engines from Renault next year, which will probably have slightly better reliability maybe, and just overall he gets upgrades quicker. And Renault also have a massive budget, which will help them to develop new upgrades quickly. Personally, for Daniel Ricciardo, I think that the move was sort of a bit personal as well. I think that he felt that he was always going to be second string to Max Verstappen. As you know, Max Verstappen is very much a Red Bull protege, as is Ricciardo, of course, but Verstappen's, he's shown amazing potential. He's won 2 races so far in his career. He's still extremely young, and he's been quicker than Ricciardo all season if you take out the mistakes that he made at the beginning of the season. So yeah, I feel that Ricciardo always felt that he would be undermined by Max Verstappen if he signs a new deal, which I think also explains why he wanted to leave, so he can become the new face of a team, the one to drive them forwards, if you know what I mean. There are still some questions about it though. Daniel Ricciardo, he's a brilliant driver, probably up there with some of the best on the grid. Otherwise he wouldn't be in that Red Bull slot, and he's leaving Red Bull, who have shown that they are extremely good. They've been at the highest level for a very long time, and Renault have just recently come back in to the sport, and they don't have Adrian Newey either, of course. I guess in hindsight we'll be able to say this and this and this and this if it works or not. He's pulling a bit of a Lewis Hamilton, I think. He's thinking about the potential of Red Bull and just seeing that the potential isn't there, especially with the new engine and aero regulations coming in 2021. But saying that, if Renault suffer again the same because their car isn't the greatest aerodynamically, then that will seem as a gamble that hasn't paid off. Saying that, him and Nico Hülkenberg next season will form an absolutely deadly partnership together. They're 2 very quick drivers. Nico Hülkenberg, I think, has been a bit unlucky throughout his career to not finish on the podium as of yet. But Renault, like Haas, I suppose, do seem to be on an upward curve. It's just Haas at the moment do seem to have an edge. But the reliability of the Renault this season has actually been very good, which is something that a lot of the teams, apart from sort of the Ferraris and the Mercedes, have struggled with. I mean, the Mercedes as well had a double DNF in Austria. And the Renaults have actually looked pretty bulletproof. I'm not saying they're perfect, they have had some issues, but nothing major. And this transfer, I don't want to ramble about it for ages, is massive for the driver market because Carlos Sainz has now left Renault. It has been official. He's leaving at the end of the 2018 season and he's going somewhere. We don't know. It could be McLaren, it could be Red Bull. There are rumours that Max Verstappen isn't happy with Carlos Sainz at Red Bull, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, it really does open up the driver market now, especially with a lot of the midfield teams still having not decided on their driver lineups. think there could still be some really, really big changes going on. I think Ferrari and Mercedes look relatively set, although Kimi Raikkonen is still a bit of an iffy one, but I'll talk about that probably in a later video. But yeah, it just depends on whether Renault can find that potential that Ricciardo sees in them to really progress on and become championship contenders in the future. But it's definitely an interesting move. Apparently he came close to signing for McLaren, and that fell through, so it really does depend. But hopefully for his sake it pays off. I'd love to see Ricciardo in maybe a title winning potential car, just to see how he does against the rivals of Ferrari and Mercedes, like him versus Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel or Max Verstappen. I think in like 4 different cars would be a brilliant contest to see. Yeah. So again, this was a little bit of an off-the-cuff video. I think a lot of my videos in the future will be like this, just as I try and get as many of them out as I can, and pre-record as many as I can, because I know I have spells where I don't upload anything in months. So if I have a lot of videos that I can fall back on, then that will be quite useful for me, I think. But anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video.